Engines roared like thunder as a line of gleaming black SUVs rolled to a stop outside the compound gate. Neighbors poured into the street, phones raised, whispering in shock. From the center Rolls-Royce Phantom stepped a man in a flawless navy suit, hair neatly trimmed, eyes sharp as steel. The same man they had spat on, mocked, and called mad for years. He didn't even glance at the stunned crowd. He walked straight toward the locked storeroom at the back, keys in hand,
Elena,
and said quietly, "Elena, it's time." The guards who once chased him away now stood frozen, faces pale with terror. "Before we continue, can I ask you a question? Where in the world are you watching from? Comment below because we'd love to know how far these stories travel, and hit that subscribe button, click on the like button, and share. Don't forget to turn on the notification button so you won't miss out on more intense stories like this. Stick with us to the end. I promise you won't want to miss what's coming." The heavy iron door groaned as Victor Kane turned the key himself. Inside the dim, dusty storeroom, Elena Harper sat huddled against the wall, her arms wrapped protectively around her swollen belly. Her once bright eyes were red from crying, her nursing student uniform now loose and stained from days of captivity. When the door swung open and light flooded in, she flinched, expecting another visit from her uncle with his threats and papers. But it was him. Not the ragged, dreadlocked figure she had married. Not the quiet man who shuffled through markets collecting scraps. This was someone else entirely, tall, commanding, dressed like the cover of a business magazine. Elena's mouth fell open. Her heart pounded so hard she thought the baby could feel it. "Victor," she whispered, voice cracking. "Is this you?" He dropped to one knee in front of her, gently taking her trembling hands in his. "It's me, Elena. It's really me." His voice was the same, low, steady, warm, but now it carried a weight that filled the room. "I'm sorry it took so long. I'm here now. You're safe." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "They said you were mad. They locked me in here because of you. Because of us." She touched her belly. "They wanted me to sign everything away or lose our child." Victor's jaw tightened, anger flashing in his eyes, but he kept his voice soft for her. "No one will ever hurt you again. Not them. Not anyone." He helped her stand slowly, supporting her weight as her legs shook. "Come with me." As they stepped out into the compound, the scene was chaos. Marcus Reed stood on the veranda, his wrapper slipping from his shoulder, face drained of color. Clara, his wife, clutched his arm, gold bangles clinking as she trembled. Neighbors crowded the gate, some live-streaming, others shouting in disbelief. "That's the madman." "No, look at the cars." "That's no madman." Marcus found his voice first, though it came out weak. You can't just walk in here like this. This is my property now." "Guards, remove this." The guards didn't move. They stared at the line of black SUVs, at the uniformed security team standing silently behind Victor, and they stayed rooted. Victor turned to Marcus, his gaze cold and unyielding. "Your property?" He let out a low, bitter laugh. "You mean the property you stole from a grieving 19-year-old girl after her parents died? The businesses you transferred into your name while she starved?" Marcus swallowed hard. I was managing things for her own good. She was too young. Too young." Victor's voice rose just enough to silence the compound. "She was young when you threw her out of her father's house. Young when you let her walk miles to school because you took the cars. Young when you laughed while the whole city called her the madman's wife." Clara tried to speak. "We didn't know you were." "You didn't need to know," Victor cut in. "You only needed to be decent. But decency was too expensive for you." Elena leaned against him, tears still falling, but her chin lifted. For the first time in months, she felt steady. "Uncle Marcus," she said, voice shaking but clear, "you told me I had ruined my life by marrying him. You threw a party to mock me when I got pregnant. Do you remember?" Marcus opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Victor wrapped an arm protectively around Elena's waist. "Look at her now," he said to the crowd. "This is the woman you all turned your backs on. The one you whispered about in markets. The one you said would die poor, with a lunatic's child." He looked down at Elena, eyes softening. And she's the only one who ever saw me. A murmur rippled through the neighbors. Phones lowered. Some faces flushed with shame. Victor guided Elena toward the waiting Rolls-Royce. The chauffeur opened the door with a deep bow. "Welcome home, madam." Elena hesitated, looking back at the storeroom, at the compound that had once been her home, at the uncle who had betrayed her. Then she stepped into the car, Victor following. As the door closed and the convoy pulled away, the whispers exploded behind them. The madman is a billionaire. She married a king. How did we not see it? But inside the cool, quiet luxury of the car, Elena finally broke. She turned to Victor, sobbing into his chest. "All this time you had all this and you lived like that? With me, in that leaking room? Eating gari and groundnuts some nights." He held her tightly, stroking her hair. "I had to know, Elena. I had to know if someone could love me when I had nothing, when the world saw nothing. My father died young, left me everything, but I watched people change around me overnight. Friends, women, family, all they saw was money. So, I disappeared. I became the person no one would choose. And then, I found you." She pulled back, searching his face. "You gave me bread when I hadn't eaten in days. You paid my fees when I was about to drop out. You stood outside in the rain just to make sure I got home safe. And you," he said, voice thick with emotion, "defended me when your classmates laughed. You married me when your uncle said I was beneath you. You carried our child even when everyone said it would be born into shame." He placed a hand gently on her belly. "You chose me when I was nothing in their eyes. That made you everything in mine." Elena cried harder, but this time it was relief. Joy, love, all pouring out at once. The convoy sped through Rivermore's busy streets. Hawkers paused mid-call. Taxi drivers stared. Market women shaded their eyes to watch the line of shining cars pass. No one knew yet who was inside, but the power rolling through the city was impossible to ignore. They arrived at golden gates that swung open silently. Beyond them stretched an estate that looked like something from a dream. Manicured lawns, fountains dancing in the sunlight, a mansion of glass and marble rising at the center. Elena's breath caught. "Victor, this is yours?" He smiled faintly. "Ours. Everything I have is ours." Staff lined the entrance in perfect rows, uniforms crisp. As Victor helped Elena from the car, they bowed in unison. "Welcome home, sir." "Welcome home, madam." The word madam hit Elena like a wave. She, who had been spat on, mocked, locked away, was now being greeted like royalty. Her knees weakened. Victor caught her before she fell. "You deserve this," he whispered. "More than this." Inside the grand hall, chandeliers sparkled like stars. Marble floors reflected her tired face. Maids hurried forward with cool towels, fresh juice, soft slippers. Elena sank into a plush sofa, hand still on her belly, tears flowing freely again. A doctor arrived within minutes, private, kind, professional. She checked Elena and the baby thoroughly, smiling warmly. "Both mother and child are strong, considering everything. A little rest, good food, and you'll both be perfect." Victor never left her side. When the doctor left, he knelt again. "I need you to know something. I didn't just hide to test the world. I hid because I was tired of being used. But you never asked for anything. You gave when you had nothing left." Elena reached out, touching his now clean-shaven face. "I love the man who brought me bread in the market. The one who waited outside my classes just to walk me home. The one who proposed with no ring, no crowd, just his heart." She smiled through tears. "I would have loved you even if this was all a dream." "It's not a dream," he said firmly. "And it's only the beginning." That evening, they stood on the wide balcony overlooking the glittering lights of Rivermore. The city stretched endless below them, markets, universities, the streets where Elena had once walked hungry and alone. Victor wrapped his arms around her from behind, hands resting over hers on her belly. "Tomorrow," he said quietly, "we will start taking back what was stolen from your father. Every document, every account, every property. Marcus will answer for what he did. Elena leaned back against him. I don't even want revenge anymore. I just want peace. For us. For our baby. You'll have peace, he promised. But justice too. No one hurts my family, and walks away. She turned in his arms, looking up at him. Your family, she repeated softly, the words warming her more than the evening breeze. Yes, he said, kissing her forehead. My wife. My child. My everything. Down in the city, news was already spreading like wildfire. Social media exploded with videos of the convoy, the transformed madman, the girl everyone had pitied now riding in luxury. Comments flooded in. She married a billionaire in disguise? God punish all those who laughed at her. See how tables turn. But up on the balcony, Elena and Victor didn't care about the noise below. They had each other. They had love that had survived the worst. And now, they had a future brighter than all the city lights combined. If you're feeling every emotion with Elena right now, tears, shock, joy, then imagine missing the rest of the story. Imagine never knowing how Victor brings Marcus to his knees, how Elena rises higher than anyone ever dreamed, how their love proves unbreakable. Don't let that happen. Hit subscribe right now, turn on notifications, like and share this video so others can feel this too. Because if you leave now, you'll carry that heavy feeling of what if I had stayed till the end. Trust me, you don't want that burden. Stay with us. The best is yet to come. Months earlier, everything had been so different. The Harper family home in Rivermore used to glow with warmth every morning. Lydia Harper, head nurse at Rivermore Central Hospital, would wake first, her white uniform already pressed. She'd hum old church songs while preparing breakfast, yam and egg stew, fresh fruit, hot tea. Elena, my doctor-to-be, she'd call up the stairs, come eat before your stomach starts protesting in class. Elena, 19, and in her third year of nursing school, would laugh as she hurried down. Mama, I'm a nurse-to-be, not a doctor. And I'm coming. Thomas Harper, tall and broad-shouldered, would stride in from the garage, smelling of engine oil and expensive cologne. He owned the largest auto parts import business in the region, but he never let success change him. My two queens, he'd say, kissing Lydia's cheek, then Elena's forehead. A man is truly rich when he comes home to this. Weekends were for charity. They'd load the car with food, clothes, books, and visit orphanages. Thomas always said the same thing. Money is a servant, not a master. Use it to lift others, or it will crush you. Uncle Marcus was a constant visitor. Broad smile, loud laugh, always ready with a joke. My brother, he'd call Thomas, slapping his back. You're too generous. One day these people will take advantage. But Thomas would just laugh. Better to be taken advantage of than to close my heart, Marcus. Elena noticed small things. The way Marcus's eyes lingered on the new car in the driveway. The way his smile tightened when Thomas spoke of expanding the business. But she brushed it aside. He was family. Then came the morning that changed everything. Lydia kissed Thomas at the door. Drive safe, my love. Thomas winked. Always. I'll bring your favorite pineapple after my meeting. Elena grabbed her books. Mama, if you remind me one more time to drink water, I'll be late. Lydia pulled her into a hug. God go before you, my child. They drove off in separate cars, waving at the gate man. No one knew it was goodbye. On the highway, witnesses later said a truck lost control avoiding a pothole and slammed head-on into Thomas's car. Lydia, on her way to the hospital, was rushed in with a familiar handbag, broken, bloodied. The news reached Elena during practicals. Her phone kept buzzing until she answered. Is this Miss Elena Harper? Yes. Please come to Rivermore Central Hospital immediately. She ran. Traffic mocked her. She begged Okada riders, tears blurring everything. At the emergency ward, the silence in the doctor's eyes told her before words did. Both parents. Gone. In one cruel moment. The funeral was a storm of grief. Two coffins side by side. Marcus wailed loudest, falling to his knees. My brother. My sister. Why? He held Elena as she trembled between the graves, whispering, "How do I go on?" To everyone, he looked like the perfect uncle. Only Elena felt something cold beneath his embrace. After the mourners left, the house felt empty. Lydia's scarf still hung on the chair. Thomas's cap waited on the table. Elena wandered into their room, found her mother's Bible open to a marked verse. "When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I." She pressed her face into the page and sobbed until no tears remained. Marcus stayed. He stood at the window, staring at the compound as if measuring it. Then he turned, face arranged in sorrow. "You're not alone, Elena. I'll handle everything, the businesses, the properties. You just focus on school and healing." Grieving, numb, she nodded. "Thank you, Uncle." His smile didn't reach his eyes. "Rest, child. Tomorrow we begin." 3 weeks later, Elena came home from classes to find strangers loading her father's cars, packing files, and taking inventory. "What's happening?" she demanded. One man shrugged. "Oga Marcus say, he day manage everything now." She stormed inside. Marcus sat behind her father's desk like he belonged there. "Uncle, why are you taking Papa's things?" He leaned back, calm. "Elena, you're too young to run businesses worth millions. Your father trusted me. I'm protecting his legacy until you're ready." "That's not true," she cried. "Papa never said that. Those businesses are mine. I'm his only child." Marcus's face hardened. "Be careful, girl. You have no money, no husband, no power. If I walk away, where will you sleep? What will you eat?" The ground shifted beneath her. One by one, the empire vanished. Bank accounts emptied. Properties transferred. The family home was declared too big for one girl. Even the workers now bowed to Marcus and Clara. Soon came the final blow. "Pack your things," Marcus said, sipping palm wine. "Go rent a room near school. This house isn't for you anymore." Relatives sided with him. "The law moves slowly," they said. At 19, Elena had no one to fight for her. She moved into a tiny one-room apartment with a leaking roof and broken fan. Some nights, she slept hungry. Some days, she walked hours to save transport money. Still, she went to classes. Her mother's voice echoed. "Finish what you started." Neighbors whispered. "See Thomas Harper's daughter, from duplex to face me I face you." Classmates pitted her at first, then avoided her. Marcus and Clara visited once, just to mock. "You see?" Marcus said. "Life humbles everyone. If you had listened." Clara smirked. "And who will marry you now? Better accept your fate." Their words stung, but Elena held her head high. She studied under streetlights when power failed. She prayed over her last spoon of gari. She refused to break. One scorching afternoon, everything changed. She was walking home, weak from hunger, when she saw him again, the man everyone avoided. Dreadlocks wild, clothes torn, slippers mismatched. People crossed the street. The children laughed. But his eyes, they were different. Clear. Kind. He stopped in front of her and held out a nylon bag. Inside, fresh bread. She stared. "For me?" He nodded once, then walked away. That night, eating in candlelight, Elena cried into the bread. It was the first real food in days. He kept appearing, sometimes with money, crumpled notes pressed silently into her hand, sometimes just standing nearby, watching over her. Society noticed. At the university gate, students saw him waiting at a distance. "Look, Chief's daughter and the madman. She's finished." Laughter followed her everywhere. One evening, Marcus summoned her to his house, the house that used to be hers. Clara sat beside him, smirking. "So it's true," Marcus began. "You're walking with that lunatic." Elena lifted her chin. "He's been kinder to me than anyone else." Marcus laughed cruelly. "Kinder? What can a madman give you? Rags? Shame?" "He doesn't steal from orphans," Elena shot back. Marcus's face darkened. "You dare speak to me like that? Get out." She left shaking but proud. She had spoken truth. Months passed. Life grew harder. But Victor always came at the perfect moment. One night, an envelope slid under her door. Enough cash for a full semester's fees. Inside, shaky handwriting. "Don't give up." She clutched it to her chest and sobbed. No one else had helped. Only him. Their bond deepened. He never spoke much, but his actions roared. Elena began seeing past the dirt, the gentle heart, the quiet strength. One rainy evening, he asked, voice barely above the downpour, "Will you marry me?" No ring, no crowd. Just him, soaked, eyes hopeful. She said yes. The wedding was tiny, a pastor, 2 witnesses, vows whispered like secrets. The mockery exploded. Marcus threw a feast just to laugh. To Elena's wisdom, he toasted. Marrying a madman. May their child be born in the gutter. Guests roared. In their leaking room that night, Elena cried in Victor's arms. They hate us. He held her tighter. They hate what they don't understand. But we have each other. Not long after, Elena discovered she was pregnant. Joy and fear crashed together. In poverty, a child felt impossible. But Victor smiled wider than she'd ever seen. He kissed her belly gently. Our child, he whispered, born of true love. But the news spread like poison. Marcus heard and smiled his coldest smile yet. Perfect, he told Clara. Now we end this. He called Elena. His voice dripped with fake concern. Come, my daughter. Families should reconcile, especially now you carry life. Come tomorrow. Let us care for you. Elena wanted to believe. She wanted a family for her child. Victor's eyes narrowed. If you go, I go with you. She touched his face. It's just talk. Maybe they've changed. They went the next day. At the gate, guards blocked Victor. Madman no fit enter. Elena protested. He's my husband. Marcus appeared, smiling thinly. Come in, Elena. Rest. A pregnant woman shouldn't stand in the sun. Victor met her eyes. I'll be close. If anything changes, call. I'll hear. She nodded and went inside. Sweet words. Mango juice. Offers of rest. Sleep here tonight, Marcus said. The road is bad. She agreed. One night couldn't hurt. At midnight, she woke to the click of a lock. She was in the old storeroom behind the house. Door bolted from outside. No window but bars. A bucket in the corner. A thin mattress. She pounded. Uncle, open this door. Marcus's eye appeared at the slot. You need discipline, Elena. That madman has ruined you. Sign the papers giving me control until you're stable, and you can leave. I'm your brother's child, she cried. My brother is dead, he said coldly. And you'll stay until you choose family over madness. The slot closed. Days blurred. Food came sparingly, pap, plain rice, sometimes nothing. Heat pressed in. The baby kicked harder as if protesting. Elena spoke to her child daily. We will survive this. I promise. Victor never left the area. At night, a soft tick on the bars. His shadow. A sachet of water. Prenatal vitamins. Bread. A note. Hold fast. Do not sign. 2 days. She cried silently, hiding the gifts. Another night, okra soup from a kind neighbor woman slipped through. Your husband paid me small money. He say make I help. Good man. Elena whispered. They call him mad. The woman smiled. Sometimes the sanest people wear madness like armor. On the second dawn, engines arrived. And everything changed. Back in the present, Elena stood in the mansion's nursery, already prepared, soft blues and creams, a crib hand-carved from the finest wood. Victor watched her from the doorway. Do you like it? She turned, tears fresh. It's perfect. Then quieter. I still can't believe this is real. He crossed to her, taking her hands. Believe it. You earned every bit. A staff member knocked softly. Sir, the lawyers are ready. Victor nodded. Tell them we're coming. Elena touched his arm. Today? Today, he confirmed. Every document Marcus forged, every transfer, every lie exposed. Your father's legacy returns to you. And Marcus answers for his crimes. She took a deep breath. I'm ready. If your heart is racing right now, if you're crying with Elena, cheering for Victor, burning for justice, then imagine stopping here. Imagine never seeing Marcus brought low, never watching Elena rise in glory, never feeling the full triumph of true love winning. That would hurt, wouldn't it? Like carrying unfinished hope. Don't do that to yourself. Subscribe now, turn on the bell, like, comment, justice for Elena, and share this video far and wide. Because this story is too powerful to keep to yourself, and too beautiful to miss the ending. The lawyers' conference room in the Kane Tech headquarters overlooked the entire city of Rivermore like a throne. Glass walls, polished mahogany table, screens glowing with documents. Victor sat at the head, calm and commanding in a charcoal suit. Elena sat beside him, no longer in worn uniforms, but in a soft maternity dress, her hand resting lightly on her belly. Across the table, 3 senior lawyers waited, files stacked high. Victor nodded to the lead attorney, Mr. Ocone, a sharp, no-nonsense man who had served the Kane Empire for decades. Begin. Mr. Ocone cleared his throat. Sir, madam, we've compiled everything. Bank transfers traced directly to Marcus Reed's personal accounts the week after the accident. Forged signatures on property deeds. Emails instructing staff to ignore now Mrs. Kane's inquiries. Even audio from the compound guards confirming the imprisonment. Elena's breath hitched at the last word. Victor reached under the table and squeezed her hand. We also recovered warehouse ledgers, Mr. Ocone continued. Thomas Harper's auto parts business was systematically drained, stocks sold under value, profits diverted. We have enough for criminal charges, theft, fraud, false documentation, unlawful detention. Victor's voice was steel. File everything. Today. I want him in court before the week ends. Elena spoke for the first time, soft but firm. I don't want him destroyed. I just want my father's return. And an apology.